What you just saw is not a video, and it's not an animation that was pre-made. It is JavaScript creating those fireworks in real time. Every single spark you see was generated by code. How does a simple page do that? How does a button create explosions, colors, movement, and sound? That's where JavaScript comes in. JavaScript is what makes websites react to you. Without it, websites are just static pages. But with JavaScript, you can create effects like fireworks display, buttons that respond instantly, animations, games, and even full applications. What can JavaScript do? JavaScript is a very powerful programming language, and it can do many things. It can calculate, manipulate, and validate data. This means it can perform calculations, change information, and check if user input is correct. It can update and change both HTML and CSS. This allows content and design on a web page to change without reloading the page. JavaScript can handle user events. For example, when a user clicks a button, types in a form, or moves a mouse, JavaScript can respond immediately. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a programming language used to create interactive and responsive content on websites. This means JavaScript controls what happens when a user interacts with a web page. Without JavaScript, websites would be mostly static and less engaging. History of JavaScript. JavaScript was created by Brendan Eich in May 1995 while working at Netscape Communications Corporation. Interestingly, the first version of JavaScript was developed in just 10 days. At the beginning, it was called Mocha, then renamed to LiveScript, and finally became JavaScript. Over time, JavaScript has grown into one of the most widely used programming languages in the world. Importance of JavaScript. JavaScript is very important in modern web development. It allows websites to respond instantly to user actions, such as clicks, typing, and mouse movements. It can update content without refreshing the page, which is how features like live scores change. JavaScript is used to build many things, including web applications, games, apps, servers, and interactive dashboards. JavaScript is one of the most in-demand programming skills, and many companies require it. Advantages of JavaScript. It is supported by all modern web browsers, so it works almost everywhere. It allows developers to create interactive and engaging features. JavaScript can reduce the workload on the server, which improves website performance. Another important advantage is that JavaScript can be used for both front-end development, which is what users see, and back-end development, using tools like node.js. Disadvantages of JavaScript. Despite its advantages, JavaScript also has some limitations. First, different browsers may interpret JavaScript differently, which can cause inconsistencies. Some older browsers may not support newer JavaScript features. JavaScript may not handle very heavy computations efficiently on its own. Debugging JavaScript can sometimes be challenging, especially for beginners. However, with practice and proper tools, these challenges can be managed. Now that you understand what JavaScript is, I'm going to show you some of the things JavaScript can do. First, I will create a folder and name it JavaScript. I will then open the folder in Visual Studio Code and create a new HTML file. Before JavaScript can work, you need to know where to put it in an HTML file. JavaScript is written inside a script tag. The script tag can be put before the closing tag of the body element. You can also put it in the head element. I recommend you to place the script tag in the body element after all your HTML code because it improves the display speed. Alert is a JavaScript command used to display a pop-up message on the screen. Inside the brackets, I put the message I want to see. The semicolon should be added at the end of the JavaScript statement. This is what we call internal JavaScript. Then I will save my work and open the file in the browser. Before I see the page, the pop-up message appears first. If you want to see numbers as your pop-up message, put the numbers inside the brackets but without the quotation marks. In JavaScript, a text is called a string, which is why it must be enclosed with quotation marks. Text without quotation marks is considered a number. To use external JavaScript, I will create a new JS file. Then I will create a script tag in the HTML file. In the opening tag, I will create the src attribute. The value should be the name of the JS file. If you want to add several script files to one page, use several script tags. External JavaScript is suitable for bigger projects to keep code organized. For this video, I will use internal JavaScript. JavaScript can help you change HTML content. I will give my paragraph a unique name using the ID attribute. JavaScript uses this ID to find the element. Next, I will create a button and type in onclick in the opening tag. This means when I click the button, JavaScript should do something. Inside the quotation marks, I will type in change element. This is the function I want JavaScript to run when the button is clicked. The brackets are important because they tell JavaScript to run the function. I will go back to the script tag and start by typing the word function. Next, I type the name of the function with the brackets at the end. Now I open curly brackets. Anything inside these brackets will run when the button is clicked. Now I type document because JavaScript is going to work with the web page. Then I type in getElementById to tell JavaScript to find an element using its ID, then open brackets. In the brackets, I type in water because that is the ID of my paragraph. Then I'll type in .inner HTML because I want to change the HTML element. And I'll type in the new element that I want to appear. Finally, I will save my changes and open the file in the browser. When I click the button, the text changes to Hello World. JavaScript can also change HTML attribute values. To do this, I am going to add an image. I'll give this image an ID called bulb, so JavaScript can identify it later. The image displayed first shows the bulb is off. Next, I will create a button, then add the onclick attribute, and the value will be turn on. I will add another button which will turn off the bulb. I will add the onclick attribute and the value will be turn off. I will now go to the script tag and create the function that turns the bulb on. Make sure the name matches exactly with the one inside onclick. This statement looks for the image with the ID bulb. Now I type .src because I want to change the image source. Then I will open quotes and paste the image to be displayed when the button is clicked. Now I'll repeat the same process for turning the bulb off. This time, the off button will change the image back. I will save the changes and go back to the browser and refresh. When I click the on button, the bulb that is on is displayed. The off button does the opposite. JavaScript can change HTML styles. I will create a paragraph and give it an ID called text. I'll create another button, then add the onclick attribute, and the value will be change style. I will now go to the script tag and create the function that will change the text style. This statement will look for an HTML element with the ID text. Next, I will type in .style because I want to change the element style. If I want to change the color, I will type in .color and add the equal signs, then type in the color, which is blue. If I want to add another style, I will do the same thing, but instead of color, I will type in font size. Finally, I will save the changes and refresh the page in the browser. When I click the button, the paragraph's color and font size changes. JavaScript can hide HTML elements. To do this, I will create another paragraph with its own ID. I will create a button and add the onclick attribute. I will now go to the script tag and create the function that will make the text disappear. I will change the display style of the paragraph to none. None means the element should not appear on the screen. Finally, I will save the changes and refresh the page. When I click the button, the text disappears immediately. JavaScript can also show HTML elements. To do this, I will create another paragraph with its own ID. To make sure it's not displayed in the page, its display style will be none. I will create a button, then add the onclick attribute. I will now go to the script tag and create the function that will make the text visible when the button is clicked. The display style of the text when the button is clicked should be block. Block makes the element appear again. Finally, I will save the changes and refresh the page. When I click the button, the hidden paragraph becomes visible. Thank you for learning with Tech Hub Academy. Today, you've learned what JavaScript is, what it can do, and why it is important. If you found this lesson helpful, please subscribe, like, and share to support Tech Hub Academy. Stay tuned for the next lesson. Thanks for watching and see you next time.